say I can save the world, but I can definitely report the stories of those affected when the world not check this. When the architects of the UN sat down and wrote the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 25, I quote, "Everyone has the right to a standard living, adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food and medical care." Yeah, only little has been done by the UN and the richest nations in the world to accommodate the dying, starving humans in Africa. Till date, poverty remains at its highest in Africa, immediating poverty slums in rural areas. In the poorer nations still exist no food, no proper healthcare, clean drinking water, adequate education, no social security, hopelessness, insecurities, the lack of self-respect and dignity of a refugee camp is unacceptable. World, you need to be ashamed of yourself sitting back watching war, murder, mayhem, rape and chaos in the lower economic nations of the world. Yeah, what about democracy?
European Union, what have you done? European Union, what have you done? European Union, what have you done? You haven't done enough.
What about the poor, marginalized, and oppressed throughout the world? You owe the moral responsibility to respond immediately. When you sat back and watched the assassination of Martin Luther King, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, and Malcolm X, you violated human rights with no regard for democracy. When you sat back and watched atrocity and genocide in Rwanda, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the list goes on, you violated human rights with no regard for democracy. When you disregard human rights and turn your back on negative aspects of globalizations in the lower economic nations, that's hypocrisy / double standard. Of course, we all see inequality. Globalization was supposed to be about change, equality, inclusive economically, politically, culturally. It's in everyone's long-term interest to adequately solve the negative aspects of globalization instead of closing your eyes, world. With all been said, in the name of humanity, I'm calling on the UN, European Union, America, NATO, the World Bank, rich and privileged, to make a difference and do more.
America, what have you done? America, what have you done? America, what have you done? You haven't done enough.
It's interesting that you provided more resources for war. On a contrast, little has been done to eliminate poverty in Africa. Sometimes I wonder, was a Declaration of Human Rights written to protect the interests and stability of the richest nations? Or was it a bad check written out to the poorer nations to compromise their thirst for economic equality and social justice? Help is critical to the well-being of Africa. You've got to do more to eradicate poverty in Africa. It's necessary. Your economy was bound to be threatened as long as Africa remains impoverished. It's reality. What about empowerment? So let's act now. Let's act now. America, let's act now. Let's act now. United Nations, let's act now. Let's act now. European Union, let's act now. Let's act now. World Bank, let's act now. Let's act now. NATO, let's act now. Let's act now. The rich and privileged, let's act now. Let's act now. Let a G20's economic summit so they focus on Africa and the impoverished of the world. Yeah.
The rich and privileged, what have you done? The rich and privileged, what have you done? The rich and privileged, what have you done? You haven't done enough.
When the good Lord created heaven and earth, yes, He also created all men equal. So let freedom, justice, and equality reign. Peace.